Yeah, I don't know. They're not very hospitable. So it might be about planets that already exist that we can visit. That's like heaven.
Yeah,
That we don't have to do anything to the planet.
no
And it's
terraforming.
already, yeah, exactly.
I think the regeneration agenda has kind of like blew out of the proportions, and we're now like imagining terraforming Venus and
Yeah,
going for
maybe
that.
neither are necessary, you know? Like I was definitely on this like Venus terraforming wave for a bit, but now that I'm more fully recognizing that I live in a quantum computer,
Mm,
I think it's more, there are way more possibilities, and there are ones that might actually just be easier. And that's a planet that you don't have to do anything for. You just have to figure out how you fold space time to find it and get there. And that might be the take the lowest amount of energy and
resources,
work and time.
time.
Yeah. So it's like might be the most efficient pathway. Um,
Sounds
but
good.
it will require some a good amount of minds to do the the folding. So
It's the collective work. Yeah, it's not an individual work for sure. Yeah, yeah. How does it
but
feel?
yeah.
Um, my observation. Um, yeah, I've seen you lead. I've seen you lead. I've seen you make executive decisions. I've seen you react and be with that reaction. I've seen you um, be in between opinions, taking time. I've seen your leadership. I admire it. Um, I think you're building a strong foundation. Right now, the foundation groundwork is being done. It's being completed, I think, with the physical encounters, the more of a landed based grounds. And then after that, what's next? Are you going to decentralize yourself? Are you going to find people who will be able to take over from your vision? What's next for you?
Um, take over is a weird word because,
Okay.
like I said, I don't know how much more time there is, but I want to try to document as much as possible. So, in case something, I'd end up in some weird freak accident or whatever, my time's up. Yeah, it can be continued in some sense, but at the same time, I feel like regardless of if I'm here, it's already happening. I
Yeah.
already see signs all around. People are just getting onto the same current, so I might not be that special, and might not matter that much. But just gonna keep doing the best I can, and like I'm kind of in an ego death day today. I was actually close to maybe canceling this call because I
Oh,
was just like lying around and I was just melting into the simulation.
yeah.
So my answers might be more like, doesn't matter that much. It's
Yeah.
whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen with or without me. It's like because it's about this is like God the way I see it, and God is recruiting many agents. So it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
if I die, I'll just hopefully I'll just become more connected to God. You know. Um,
When you connect with people, what do you value in them the most? What do you see in them as a reflection of what you like to have more?
um, I like what I value and appreciate the most is just being able to speak truth and work through one another's truths, or not what might not even be truth. Like what just being able to share what our inner truths are, even if they might clash, and being able to get through that and not holding on to things. Um, that's what I value the most because I think we're going through a very confusing just whatever we're going through, this transition, it's going to require a lot of strength, a lot of inner strength to not get too bogged down on like projections that might happen, because if many of us are still in a process of doing our shadow work, then it's bound to happen. So what I value is, yeah, just people with very thick skins, that aren't gonna get hurt by me.
Thank you for your honesty. Yeah. I never got hurt by you. I've reacted. I've reacted, yes, but I have not got like let it hurt me. I got it to let me grow, always. But it's also with like life experience, the kind of culture I'm in. I respect truth so much, and I hear and feel the truth so deeply that when I hear people say the truth, I'm like, yes, yes. Like that doesn't really matter how it affects me. Is the fact that the greater consensus is reached in humanity, basically, on those moments. There is nothing that is really bad about conflict. It's part of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing so dramatic about it. Do you think that it's possible to complete shadow work? What does it mean that someone has completed it? Have you met a person like that?
I don't think I've met anyone where I feel like they're done with their shadow work. I think it means, in my opinion, having a deep understanding about the nature of reality and all these dynamics, and recognizing, and like, and if you've completed it, you're such a master that you don't get into any conflict at all. Like you can just glide through. You say like the perfect things, you know, the perfect things to say. You know that if you say this thing, something's going to happen to the other person, so you like figure out the best words of how to say the thing, and you know that it's going to land in the right way. Or you recognize that it's not your problem, or it's not, you shouldn't project and try to force someone into their shadow work right now, you know, if they don't want to be doing it. So it's just kind of operating with like grace and understanding, and like being able to really read the other person very well, and being able to know and catch yourself before saying something that might trigger another person. So that's what I think, like someone that has mastered all of their shadows, but they can't be so avoidant that they create a bubble and they only surround themselves with a particular type of people, and they avoid other people because they know that, you know, it's just kind of like, it has to be like, you know, whether you're like that with your mom, or just like someone you talk to on the street, or like a customer service person, or like a friend, it's all like there's like a system in place for how you operate, and you're kind of like this beautiful geometric construction that's just, you know, sensing and pulling this and that, and you're just like a Jedi or something. So that's what I think. And not too like egotistical about where you're at either, because that could be some of the problem with kind of getting to that level of clearing all your shadows. You start to feel very powerful, but you have to be kind of graceful and humble with that power as well.
Yeah. Agreed. I have blood here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was cutting this too much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be using these to wrap these sticks that I'm wrapping. So it's
nice.
historical that I did this with you, these parts. But honestly, it's so good to listen to you. It's like a melody. I think you should be a rock star. I think we should make you a rock star. It's easy, because you have the vibe of it, and once you know have the right text, to put out there in the world, and the right music, we we can we can really, put you out there. How would you react to it? Like, would you want this? Do you want to be on stage? What do you envision for yourself?
Um, Sometimes that idea goes through my head about that. And so sometimes I wonder if that is a part of my path. But it's not like traditional music, I would say, or